all want to reach goals in our lives. So, how are your goals for this year coming along? We are well into this year already, and you should be feeling progress and momentum and movement in reaching milestones to reach your goals already. And I hope you do. But if not, there is still time to get yourself back on the path to success. But what I don't want people to do is if you're not reaching goals now, I don't want you to get to the end of the year and for you to say, why didn't I accomplish what I wanted to do this year? And for you to feel disappointed that this year went by so quickly. People talk about how fast time goes and how fast the year is going by. And we already have gotten through a significant portion of the year that people should feel they are reaching goals and reaching milestones on their goal paths. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about evaluating where you are, and most importantly, a plan to get you on path or back on path. Um, so, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to do this with a sense of humor a little bit, but on a scale of 1 to 5, where do you feel your goal reaching is? On a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is that you feel you're not moving at all, you're feeling very stationary. 3, that you're kind of neutral, you're moving, maybe moving a little bit, but not very far. And 5 would be that you're feeling totally successful, you're really reaching where you want to be in goals. So if you're saying, when I'm asking you, are you reaching milestones in your goals? Are you making progress? And if you're saying, what goals? I really have to think about this, then you are living what I call the default life. And you're kind of probably feeling stuck and busy in regular daily activities and like you don't have time to build your goals. But that's an issue that shouldn't get in your way. So I want you to feel free that you do have time and focus and effort and energy to work on your goals because we all want to better our lives. So if you're feeling number one, that you don't even have goals or you're not attentive to goals, you have dreams, but you're not working on them, we still have time. I'm going to talk about that. And 3 is kind of neutral, that you have goals, but you feel like you're not getting very far. Again, the good news is that there is still time to build your goals and to reach success. So if you're at a 3 and you have some goals, but you're not getting towards your milestones, if you feel like you're not getting far, this is a perfect time to check in and find out why you're not getting far, what's holding you back, and what you need to do to get on track for not only a successful year, but what could be your best year, a year when you create your best life. And that is what I like to help my clients do, and I'd love to help you do that as well. So I'm going to give you a 4-step model for goal reaching, for building your best life for optimal success and happiness. It's what I share with my clients and I work with them in detail. I'd like to tell you the 4 steps that we work on. And step 1 is basically setting specific goals. Not just I want to do something else in my job, or I want to go on a vacation somewhere, or I want a new house, or but, and you've probably heard of SMART goals, and those are goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and have a time frame. Goals that are vague are hard to reach because it's hard to make a plan and it's hard to evaluate whether you've reached them or not. But the more specific a goal is, the easier it is to create a pathway to get you exactly where you want to go. And I talk about goal reaching. If you think about getting in a car, You have a starting point and a destination. And in your car, if you have a GPS, it will give you the pathway. It will tell you the most efficient way to get from your starting point to your end point. And that is very helpful. And in goal reaching, you want to do that as well. You want to know where you're at, you want to know where your destination is, and you want to know the pathway. And I'm going to be speaking about that in detail. But let's talk about goals, since the first step is creating goals. And we want goals, again, to be specific. We want them to be SMART goals, so you know exactly what you want and you can figure out exactly how to get there. People usually have goals in a few different areas of their life. One really important goal to people is work goals. What can I do better at work? How can I become stronger at what I do? What can I learn to improve my skills, my responsibilities, my success in what I do? And for some people, some examples are public speaking, to be able to speak confidently in front of your group of clients or colleagues or whoever it is you work with. And it may not even be public speaking, but it may be even speaking one-to-one. So you may need stronger to build communication skills or relationship skills to be able to connect with the people around you, because that's how you get results. That is a strong asset for work success. And there are many skills for work success. A lot of companies hire me to teach these skills, like public speaking, like personal productivity, like focusing and avoiding distractions, like time management, like energy, like work-life balance skills. And you might think, why would a company hire me to talk a little bit, not the only thing, but talk a little bit about work-life balance skills? Well, if people are at work and they're supposed to be at work, but they're distracted because they're thinking about home commitments, because their life isn't balanced and they don't know how to balance it, then that makes them less effective in both realms, both at home and work. We want people to feel in control both at home and at work, so you can have optimal focus skills both. When you're at work, you want to focus on what you're doing at work so you get your optimal results. You get done what you need to do. And when you're at home, you want to enjoy your life at home for the time that you have when you are at home. And so there are a lot of skills that are involved in creating your best life and in functioning optimally at work and at home. There are also life goals that people have. Sometimes people want to learn a new foreign language or participate in sports at a higher level or play a musical instrument or some kind of performance. There are personal goals, health goals. People want to lose weight, or stress management programs, which actually is an important thing and it helps people focus better at work and at home. So it can be an important skill to learn as well to help you balance your life. So again, the first step in goal reaching and in this is defining your goal, your specific goal. And the second, and this is a really important one, is to identify your process, your system, your blueprint, your map, your steps to get you where you want to go. So if this is your starting point and this is your goal, this is your destination, just like when you get in a car with a GPS and this is your starting point and this is your end point, what really helps you get there is an efficient pathway, an efficient route, blueprint, map. And that's what we want to identify. A lot of people stop at the step of goal setting and they say, well, I have this goal. I don't understand why I'm not getting there. It's the steps that help you get there. There's a famous quote that it's the systems that limit your accomplishment. And I want you to keep that in mind. Because so many people I hear and I speak to talk about, well, I have goals, I just don't know what's getting in my way. I don't know why I'm not reaching them. And that is because you need that GPS, that map, that pathway. And that's really sometimes difficult for people to map out. That is something that I do work on with my clients a lot. Sometimes having an objective viewpoint, or somebody who's experienced in this can really help identify the specific and efficient steps to get you where you're going. Um, I do also have a goal reaching form that I use with my clients, and if anybody watching this would like a copy of my form, I would be happy to give that to you. Just contact me. I will put my calendar um, in the chat, and you can reach me. Schedule with me, and we'll talk, and I'll get you a copy of that goal reaching worksheet. A lot of people say it helps, and I'm happy to share it with you. But again, that second step that a lot of people miss and don't prioritize as much is the process, the system, the blueprint, the pathway of how you're going to get from one step to another. And third, like with any process, you have to review over time. Where are you getting? Do you have to correct course? Do you have to correct your pathway? Did you fall off it? Do you just have to get back on it? Do you need to make any editing in your steps? And I usually tell people to review where they're going weekly. Set aside one hour per week to look over your goals. And I tell people, most people, if you want to create a really fulfilling life, you should have 3 to 5 goals that you're always working on that will really bring you to satisfaction in your life. And they will be a combination of work, life, and personal goals. And it won't be confusing because you can have this worksheet to keep track of where you're at in each goal, where you need to go, and how you can get there. And the fourth step, which is really important, is you want to evaluate, and when you reach milestones, when you hit goals along the way, you want to celebrate and acknowledge your hard work so that you know that your goal reaching is worth it to you and that you're noticing where you're going. And I always encourage people to pick goals and steps that will really help you progress and get somewhere where you haven't been. Transformation takes courage, and it takes going outside of and beyond your comfort zone. But I always like to tell people comfort zones never bring greatness. They never bring great, important, significant results because you stay where you are. Learning to get outside of your comfort zone and feeling comfortable and excited when you're there and making progress is really the key to transformation, to moving your life forward, to making and creating your results. So again, we talked about the 4 steps that can be really important. One is identifying your goals in detail. But again, not stopping there. A lot of people stop there and again say, I don't know why I'm not reaching my goals. The second step is actually to identify the pathway. The third is regularly over time to review where you're going. And fourth is to celebrate when you get places. Now, the pathway and reviewing, those are 2 of the most important steps. And many people find it helpful to have someone else to do it with them. When you are doing it alone, many people feel in isolation. It's often helpful to have support, resources with you. Some people like to call it accountability. It keeps you moving. I personally don't like to call it accountability because I feel that I am responsible. But when I have groups that I work with, and good coaches always have groups that they work with, when I have groups and coaches and leaders and experts that I work with in areas where I want an expert, it helps me because then I don't let things fall through the cracks. I know that on such and such a time and such a date, I am going to have somebody helping me learning this foreign language that I want to learn, or working on a musical instrument that I'm working on, or whatever goal it is that you may have in mind. It is helpful to have experts work with you. Um, and I often work with teams, and so I have teams working with each other so that you can be your own support systems. And some of the teams will just do it for work and decide how they're going to help each other progress at work. Sometimes we'll include work life balance in there as well to help people feel that they are able to focus in life. And there are lots of possibilities and lots of ways of building and creating your best life. But I want you to remember to keep those 4 steps in mind, to remember that it is certainly more important to go beyond just creating your goal. It's been said that a goal without a pathway or a system is just a dream, and that really is true. It is just a wish or a hope or a dream unless you identify a pathway and a map with it so that you can realistically envision getting there and how to get there. So I'd be happy to talk to you if you want my sheet, first of all. If you want some advice about the goals that you have and how to reach them. I know people who are familiar with me know about my Success Builders Club that I have, where I help people build these skills like personal productivity and time management and focus. And if we pick whatever skills you need, work-life balance, sometimes energy, sometimes there are lots of skills that are useful. Um, Sometimes it's prioritization and, you know, figuring out your priorities and staying on track with them. And focus is an important one as well. And those of you who are familiar with me also know I have a High Achievers Club where people who have the skills often work with me to really get to it at a high level and to maintain their high level of success and accomplishment. So I encourage you to really think seriously about what you can do to move your life forward. What are 3 to 5 goals that can make a difference for you? And think at this time of year where we really are significantly into the year, are you making progress? Have you been reaching milestones in goal reaching already? Or are you feeling stagnant and stationary? And if so, I really encourage you to think about what you can do to move forward, to get that momentum, to get progress going, so that when it gets to the end of this year, you really can say, this was a year where I really reached heights in my life, in my work, in my life, in my health, whatever it is you're working towards. If I can be of help to you, let me know if you'd like a copy of the sheet or any further advice. I'd love to see people moving forward and really reaching and creating their best lives. So I look forward to speaking with you and having you join me again in our group talks or however I can help you. Let's talk soon.